Nice. So, which brings me to my next question. Why is the world flat? It's okay. We're going to move on. I just want to get to some of the other questions here. This one is interesting. Are any beatboxing techniques completely new to humans vocally? And we've kind of talked about this, and we kind of touched on it. But was there a sound you were like, what? I do that like for every other one. But
me too. This is one of the... Your first question for me was why beatboxing, and there's like 5 other reasons that I didn't mention, and this is one of them. What can people do? And what can people do? I mean, we can do all kinds of things with our bodies, but like specifically in the vocal tract, what can we do? There's so many different kinds of art out there, so many different styles of doing things. The breadth is incredible. The diversity of the human voice and its expressiveness, mind-boggling. In terms of beatboxing, one of the cool ways to think about how beatboxing can, or you might say, inform our understanding of the breadth of possibility in the voice is that beatboxers really do produce a lot of sounds that I hadn't heard of and couldn't have thought of before. There are much cleverer and more exploratory people out there than I am, and people in my field have a long history of doing vocal exploration, trying out different things and seeing what kinds of sounds can you make and why don't those sounds end up in languages around the world. But I see things that you mentioned, the some of the lip rolls. Like if you take an inward lip roll or an inward tooth lip roll or something, where you've got to move your jaw to the side just right, and then you've got to pull your lips inward and then breathe in and maybe vocalize while you do that, but you've got to get the positioning just right. That takes an awful lot of practice. And
that was the first thing. So sorry to cut you off.
Please.
When I came from opera, and like I thought I was woke to the human voice because I dabbled in Estel. I wish I could afford the certification, but alas. But I studied Estel as much as I could. So I came in, was like, I got this. And then I saw someone with their lip hit sub-bass frequencies. And I'm like, he's using his lip to oscillate at sub-bass frequencies. And it just blew my mind.
Yes.
And it's funny because you do, like, that is a very specific thing. The oscillations have to happen within a certain time frame and with a certain consistency. And then I'll, again, YouTube comments. So, we're going to get depressed here quick. But they're like, oh, yeah, I could do that. It's easy. I'm like,
it's not easy.
No.
Certainly not
at all.
There's some sounds. There's... I think it's got different names. Inward click roll, inward tongue roll. It's you curl your tongue backward and breathe in, and you get a kind of sound. I think it's used in zippers and things. All the beatboxers can tell me whether I'm right or wrong.
Actually, on that note, have you heard Azel yet?
I don't think I have.
Do you mind if I bring him up real quick?
Not at all.
Yo. What's poppin'? It's Azel here, I'm from Italy, and this is a massive shout out for my brothers Teapot, Pulsate, Justin, and Beatbox International.
These intros have way more of a budget than I do. This one's cool. I'm sorry, I gotta nerd out for a second. To like vocalize on feel free to correct fricative, right? Is a Z or whatever. He's vocalizing on that and then using the the same air to kind of like do a whistle, and then he's harmonizing with the whistle. It's like
it's a lot. I can't. Yeah, and it's I'll only add, it looks like it's a lateral sound, which means the tongue is also not like in a symmetrical position. So in terms of getting all those resonances to work properly, it's all happening in a skewed vocal shape.
That's interesting. So that actually is something that I do bring up a lot in the videos, and where I would love, to borrow Inga Titz's brain.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
So like, it's like, yes, you modeled Pavarotti, but can you model D-Low?
Uh-huh.
Like, to get that, though, is very involved. And even with the computational advancements, like, I'm amazed Dingo Tits is still, like, at, like, damn near at the top of the game.
He does great work.
I wish I could understand even 25% of it. It's very dense.
It's a process.
Yes. So, okay. So we're just gonna translate that. The orientation of the vocal tract and all of its pieces, the tongue, layering, all of that stuff goes into making this sound. And you have some classifications for that. You said this is a lateral sound.
By the look of it, to my eye, yes. And I'm that's based on the fact that, I mean, it's the head is presented with one side facing, but it looks to me like the left side of the lips are a little bit spread farther apart, so the right are a little bit more together. I think I might see the tongue or just a pocket of air poking into the left side of the cheek, the side that's facing us. And that, to me, suggests that there's constriction on one side of the lips and something else happening maybe inside the vocal tract that's pushing air to one side of the vocal tract. And all of that we would call lateral.
Oh, okay. I'd ask for further clarification, but I kind of want to see more of this and see what you got to say, because this is fun right here.
Ooh,
Yeah,
nice.
right? Yeah. That one, by all means.
No, I just one of the things that I've been really impressed with about beatboxers is how much mileage I see them getting out of the same sound to make these wonderful tonal shifts. So you can see, like, the shape of his mouth is going all over the place, which not only it's not just that, like, it creates a really, like, impressive visual picture, but also it's the thing that's causing the sound to go up and down.
It's the equivalent of a filter.
Exactly. And just like in the 5 seconds that we just saw, so much mileage of the sound was coming out of just changing the shape of the lips and moving the jaw a little bit while making just one continuous sound. And it's really impressive how you can just get something so strong out of one type of filter change.